Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and this review concerns First Blood. Yeah, the first of the Rambo films. Now I know it has an alternate title. It's called Rambo First Blood, but no, it was originally just called First Blood. There was no Rambo in the title, no. And so yes, let's just call it First Blood. That's what it was originally meant to be called, and it's based on the novel that is called First Blood. Now, Rambo is a big deal, yes. He's a huge part of culture. He's well known internationally, yeah. And, yes, I understood that Rambo was a big deal in the 1980s. I heard a lot of references to him, yeah. I remember at school, some boys would, what they weren't supposed to, but they'd take their ties off and tie them around their head like the headband to look like Rambo, yeah. I remember spoofs of Rambo in kids' comic books everywhere, yeah. But never actually saw the Rambo movies. And they're not really meant for kids. They were popular with a lot of kids, but no, they are quite violent and quite gory and everything. And but the thing is, I just thought, when I was about 16, 17, all right, I'm old enough to see a Rambo film now, so just wait for them to come on the telly. But they never did. They just wouldn't show them on television. Was this because of copyright issues, or was it because TVs were unwilling because they're too violent? And then eventually I lost patience and thought, come on, if I want to judge the Rambo films, I have to see at least one of the films. So when I was about 21, bought the video of First Blood, see what all the fuss was about, yeah. And, before, I knew stuff about the Rambo film, and just that I didn't know if he was a goodie or a baddie. Just that he's this tough guy who's armed to the teeth, all the bullets there and everything, and his famous combat knife there, yeah. But I didn't know if he was good or evil. No, I thought he was a nutcase to go around killing everyone and hiding in the forest, yeah. Then I saw the film itself, and no, technically Rambo is not a bad guy, no. He's made out to be the bad guy, yes, he's personified as a villain. The police will say he's a violent nutter. But no. He's misunderstood. He's mistreated. He's framed for things he didn't do, yeah. So then he's an anti-hero, yes. Someone that's made out to be a bad guy, a bit like, effectively Rambo is a bit like a Frankenstein creature or the Incredible Hulk. Someone that's made out to be a monster, but technically it's not their fault. They're an innocent, a victim of circumstance, all that kind of stuff, yeah. And, okay, there's going to be spoilers, yes. First Blood is yes, loosely based on the book. But they do take some liberties, a lot of things change. Basically, the book was written in 1972, and the author of it wanted it to be made into a film straight away. So in 1972, the Vietnam War hadn't finished yet. And it was about how Vietnam veterans are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And every now and again, something triggers off their killer instinct, and they go and attack everything in sight, yeah. And the government weren't really doing anything about it. They weren't taking responsibility for this sort of thing. Now, it's true, all people react differently when they've been in a war, but yes, you should do something if they're suffering from, mental problems, trauma. Anyway, a film company had the rights to the First Blood book, put it on the shelf, but never made it into film, then sold it to a different film company, who sold it to a different film company. So effectively, First Blood was in development hell. And then finally, Universal got hold of it and said, yep, we want to make it into a movie. And they got Sylvester Stallone, who was very famous. He just had 3 hit Rocky films, yeah, so that's really cool. And yes, I'm glad, although they had other actors in mind, I'm glad Sylvester Stallone got the part, yes. He was the definitive double-hard tough guy, yeah. And at more or less the same time when First Blood was released, Conan the Barbarian was released. And that was the first big hit of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Conan the Barbarian, that's about a tough guy. His family and friends have all been killed. All his home, any money, anything, everything's been taken away from him, yeah. And he lives like a vagrant. He lives like a drifter, He's been mistreated by authority. Except Conan is set thousands of years in the past. First Blood is set in the present day. Yes, so it's saying, yeah, it's not a very cheery thought, but even in the modern world, yes, people can be mistreated and framed for things they didn't do, yeah. And, okay, let's get on with the story. The story is, Rambo, he goes to see a war comrade that he fought in the Vietnam War with, because the Vietnam War is over, yeah, because it's set when it's made in 1982. And he finds out all his friends that he knew in the war were all dead. The last one that he fought survived. Nope, he's died as well. So there's nothing left. Where can he go? And that song at the end, "It's a Long Road." It's well, Rambo, everywhere he goes, there's nothing to look forward to. He's badly treated everywhere he goes. And the long road is a metaphor. It means a place to go where I'll be happy, where my life will get better. Well, how long is the road to get to this place? Is there anywhere that could make my life better? Does such a place even exist? Well, if it exists, it's a long road. It's a long journey, yeah. And then Rambo gets arrested by a policeman. Well, the policeman, he hasn't done anything. The policeman doesn't like the look of him, basically. You look like a drifter. You look like a vagrant. He tells him to get out of the town. Rambo refuses. Thinks, no, I haven't done anything. You can't just kick me out just like, I just want something to eat and then I'll leave. But the sheriff arrests him anyway. So the sheriff is a very gruff, mean person, yeah. And arrests him, puts him in prison, and so Rambo doesn't like this at all, and he's had enough. He cracks, basically, because being the police brutality, the way they beat him up with those big wooden baton things, and it triggers something inside him, because it reminds him of the way he was tortured in prisoners of war camp in Vietnam. And he just beats them all up and gets the hell out of the police station. He makes them look like idiots, basically. His fighting skills are vastly superior. He tears through them like paper, beats the hell out of all of them. It's a walk in the park, and gets out of the police station, steals a motorbike, and zooms off. That is more or less what happens in the book, except he kills people to get out of the police station, and he kills any civilians that gets in his way. And the writers of this version thought, no, you can't do that. You can't kill anyone because the audience will not be rooting for him. So that's why they made that different, yeah. And also, when he gets away, there is technically a death, yes, but only one death. the sheriff, or the sheriff's friend, like the deputy or something, he wants to kill Rambo, even though he's been told very specifically to capture him alive. But he ignores orders and wants to kill him. But even before he's killed him, the really horrible deputy and the other policeman beat Rambo up a lot because he's unemployed. He is unemployed, therefore useless to society, and nobody's going to care. So therefore they have no guilt, no qualms about beating the hell out of him. And Rambo gets out as if to make a point. No, I am not useless. I am not nothing. Yeah. Anyway, Rambo does indeed kill the police officer in the forest, in the mountains, because he's trying to kill him. So it's self-defense, yeah. And he does try and tell the other policemen that they won't listen to reason, and they want to arrest him for murder. And Rambo thinks, no way. So he runs away and goes in the forest. In other words, Rambo doesn't kill a load of people like he does in the book. However, it is made very clear that he could kill people if he wanted to. Yes, he has the combat training, yeah. One man against 200 men, well, they don't stand a chance against a Green Beret soldier, yeah. And of course, Rambo in the woods makes these booby traps that attack the policemen following him. Don't kill them. Stab them in places that won't kill them, yes. And that's when he holds his combat knife up to Teasel's throat and says, I could have killed them all, but I haven't. You've seen an example of my power. The only reason they're still alive is because I wish it, yes. Don't push it. Don't push me, or I'll give you a war you won't believe. And then Rambo goes and hides it in the forest, yeah. So, yes, Rambo is a very capable soldier, yes. He will fight to the finish, yeah. And, okay, I suppose I better talk about the ending. Well, the thing is, in the book, what originally happens is Colonel Troutman, Rambo's mentor, he kills Rambo at the very end. He realizes he's beyond help, he won't listen to reason, and he's just going to carry on killing more people. So his mentor, the only person he trusts, kills him. And they weren't too sure if Rambo should die at the end of the film or not. Now, Sylvester Stallone, 1 year before First Blood, he was in a movie called Escape to Victory, which was a huge flop. And I've seen that film, and yes, I like the beginning, I like the middle, but I hated the ending. That was an awful ending. It was appalling. So yes, Sylvester Stallone was very mindful that it's very important to have a good ending, otherwise the success of the film could depend on the ending, yeah. So, they did two endings to First Blood. One of them where Rambo, he isn't killed by the Colonel. He wants him to, but the Colonel won't kill his creation. I trained you. So instead, Rambo kills himself, and that's the end of the film. And they did a test of an audience, and the audience hated that ending. No, because they felt ripped off. No, we've been rooting for him this whole time. He can't die, no. It's more accurate to the book, but no, they didn't want him to die. So they did a different ending where instead Rambo breaks down, has a nervous breakdown. He eventually stops, puts his weapon down, and doesn't kill anyone. Yeah, so I thought that was a better ending. I'm glad Rambo didn't die. I mean, he's suffered enough. He's been humiliated enough. He doesn't deserve to die after all he's been through, yeah. Oh, and you need to see Rambo a few times, because the first time I saw it, I thought, yes, Rambo, tough guy, but a bit too bitter and sour. Why is he so bitter inside? Is there something else he's not telling us? Well, at the end of the film, he does. He says, civilian life is nothing. Nobody looks after you when you're a civilian. But when you're in war, everyone looks after you. You know, you watch my back, I watch yours. People risk their lives to save you, yeah. When I was a soldier, I could command a gunship, I could drive a tank, I was in charge of $1 million equipment. As a civilian, I can't even keep a job parking cars! And then you go, oh, that's why he's so angry. That's why he's so bitter, yeah. Because he's not being treated like a hero. You know, he's risked his life countless times for his country, and he can't even have a measly little job. He's being mistreated, yeah, and he feels ripped off. You know, it's not a nice home to come back to, no. And Rambo relates to me for a more personal reason. I mean, I haven't actually been fighting in a battle, but I know what it's like to be humiliated on a really big scale. So yes, Rambo is a character I can relate to. I mean, when you're humiliated in such a way, you don't know where to go, what to believe, or who to trust, yeah. And that's what Rambo's going through his mind. He goes, all my friends have gone, where is everyone? Why does nobody care about me? Yeah. So he just wants to be loved, you know. I mean, not undying love, just, I don't know, a kind word would be nice, yeah. And he breaks down, and Colonel Troutman gives him a little hug, it's alright, and then Rambo surrenders at the end, yeah. And, oh yeah, when you've seen it a few times, you know and understand the kind of fighting. He's like guerrilla warfare, you know. He fights the ultimate tough guys. So in other words, when you see it the second time, when Teasel threatens to rough Rambo up a bit, he gives him an evil stare. Like that. And I think when Rambo does that, it's basically saying, do you honestly think I'm frightened of you? I've seen horrors the like of which you cannot even begin to imagine. You don't frighten me in the least. Yes, yeah. Yeah. So yes, I think it's good that Rambo eventually came through, although there is, yes, to do justice to the book, if you like. If Rambo, he doesn't kill anyone, but when they think he's dead, when he's metaphorically died in the mine, and then he gets free, they all think you're dead. Why don't you just run away and go and live in another town? Why did he go back to the town in the first place? Because he wants to kill Teasel. That's why, yes. He blows up the petrol station, machine guns the telephone wires, and then he wants to kill Teasel, because he's angry at him. He's the enemy, yeah. Yeah, so you can see that although he technically doesn't kill him, he's on the brink of killing him, and then Troutman stops him at the last second and says, no, this mission is over. Yeah. You can't kill people because of a personal grudge. You kill people in a war, you're a hero. You kill people in civilian life, you're a murderer. I know it's horrible, but that's the way it works. Yeah, yeah. And Rambo hates being treated like I'm worth something, I'm really special. Just because I'm unemployed doesn't mean I'm not worth anything, yeah. And in fact, yes, when he makes all the policemen look like idiots in the wilderness, he says to Teasel, in town you're the law, out here it's me. Yes, yeah. Yeah, my skills are vastly superior to yours, yeah. Okay, all that's left to say really is, oh yes, one of the policemen is played by the man that went on to be in CSI Miami. Yeah. Okay. Rambo was the first of its kind, yes. First Blood shows how, yes, this really cool action type film, yeah. And it was a huge big hit, yeah. So, and it's Sylvester Stallone's favourite, my personal favourite was the second one, but then each to their own. Okay, all that's left to say is really, you don't know the big picture unless you've seen every angle, yes. Rambo's not the bad guy, but he's made out to be the bad guy, yeah. So, eventually, yes, his name is cleared in a manner of speaking, yeah. Okay, well thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.